All right, today is 8.7. We're talking about a glide reflection. A glide reflection is a fancy term for a translation and then a reflection. So first you have your pre-image, and you glide or translate, okay? And then you reflect. Glide, then reflect. This is our introduction into what a composition is. So if I had the cat here, I glide it to here, and then based on this image, now I reflect it to get my new image. So you're going to have the original pre-image becomes the image. Then this image gets reflected, and now we have like a new shape. Okay. So if I look at this as a multi-step process, okay, of translation first, then reflection, I have what's called a composition. I can do it in any order I want. I can do it with any of the transformations I want. This is just one special kind where we call it a glide reflection. Glide, then reflect. But if I do it with something else, then it's still a composition. And compositions are isometric. A composition of two or more isometries is still an isometry. Okay, so let's talk about what type of transformation we're doing here. This is going to be helpful on the test because this is going to be a lot of your multiple choice test questions. What is the transformation? Well, that's a translation. I just slid from here to here. Translation. How about from here to here? Well, I'd call that a reflection. How about this is just helping you identify what's happening. If I go from here to here, hopefully we can see that it's a rotation. From here to here, again, you may think rotation, but look at the way the eyes are shaping. They're still pointing in the same direction. Previously, the eyes were looking right, and now they're looking left. That's called a rotation. The eyes are still pointing in the same direction. That means that we slid it over, and then we reflected. So it is a glide reflection. All right, let's keep talking. F. You're going to have one like this on the test, okay? It's designed to confuse you, but it's simply just taking A and moving to F. That's called a translation. I know it's on the other side of the line, but don't get tripped up by that. It's just a glide or a translation. Okay. All right, now if we kept looking at these, the transformation here from A to B is a reflection across the mirror. From here to here is looks like we slid it down, so it's just called a translation. From here to here, notice the way the eyes are on top and now the eyes on bottom. Okay, that looks like it's going to be a rotation of 180 degrees. All right, here, okay, see now the eyes are both pointing up. So this looks like we split it down and then reflected. So it's a glide reflection. Okay, you're going to have a lot of test questions like this. Notice how it's still the same exact orientation. It's just a translation. Here, ooh, tough one. What do you think? We went from here and we circled all the way around the rotation. Not done correctly, but that's okay. The eye should have been on the bottom. That's terrible. Ignore that. Erase it from your brains. That's wrong. Which one is the glide reflection? Okay, so this is kind of an example of a multiple choice question. Which one is the glide reflection? Well, A, I can tell that's just a reflection. Okay, but if I use A, I know that I have to reflect and then glide, or glide and then reflect. So which one is in the same position as A? It's going to help us out. But let's look at A as a reflection. And then B, I don't even know what that one is. It's all sorts of funky. So I'm going to ignore that one for now. B, I can tell is a rotation. If we look at the full shape, notice how this eye, the head is facing here, rotated around, and it's facing this direction now. It's a rotation. So B is out of the question. So now we're down to C or D. The D we put, we don't even know what it is. C, we notice if we slide it down and then reflect it, we land right on top of glide reflection. So C would be our answer for this one. It's all about being able to notice which is which. Now, for your partner activity, we're going to work on some homework. If you notice your homework here, 8.6, I want to describe to you exactly what's going on your homework problems. It says to first graph ABC. That part we can do. I know the X and Y coordinates. I can just plot them on my graph. Now, After you do that, you're going to perform the first transformation. Okay? You're going to graph the original triangle, label it B, and then put the coordinates in the matrix. Step 3, transform the new triangle again, and then graph it, and then label the new matrix. Again, transform it again, and then graph it, label it, and put it in the coordinates. Transform it again, plot it, graph it, and put it in the matrices. All right, you'll have 5 triangles graphed at the end of problem 1. I hope I can give you a visual of what that looks like. Typos on problem 2. Yeah, there's some typos on problem 2. Label it G, H, I, and J. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the homework right now. And so I can kind of show you what we're talking about when it comes to mouse. Okay. So on the homework, what you're going to do is you're going to plot ABC. Let's see if I can get the little pencil thing out here. This is not usually how we do it. Comment. There we go. Pencil. So the matrix says -5, 10. So I go -5, +10, and I put my dot down. And then it says go -10, 5. I put my point down. And then it says -8, -2. Okay. Connect my dots. Terrible triangle, but that's okay. So there's my initial triangle. Now this first one says translate ABC with vector 8, 7. So I'm going to go +8, down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. This is my new point for, looks like A. Okay, so A would go, A was -5, 10, and now it's going to be 3. And then we went down 7, 3, 3. Is that the point right here? Is it 3, 3? We go over 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3. Yes. You can't hardly read that, but that's a 3. I'm trying to write with my mouse. It's not very easy. Okay, so it's 3, 3. And I do that for every single new point. And I get all of transformation B set up here. Now it says reflect the new shape, that transformation B, across the x-axis. So if I start here and I want to go across the x-axis, I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Now I'm doing the visual method. You can also use the coordinate method if you'd like. Here's 3, -3. The coordinate rule for a reflection across the x-axis is AB becomes A, -B. And I did that right there. So now this would be called, what, A prime? If this was A, that's A prime. Now this, we'll call it A double prime. See, I got 2 little tick marks in there. Let's zoom in. 2 little tick marks. Okay, now up here it tells me that the next one, I just did the first transformation across the x-axis. Now I'm doing transformation C. We're going to translate transformation C with the vector of 7, 3. All right, so now I'm going to use the coordinate rule for this one. If I say 7, 3, that means I've got to add 7 to this, which gets me 10. And I have to add 3 to this, which gets me 0. Now if I can plot this point, that means I go over 10 and 0. So I just stay right here. Oh, I've translated the wrong piece. My bad. The vector says that this is A double prime. I go over 7, up 3, and there's my new point. I label it as A triple prime. Wow. Now, it doesn't make much sense because I'm only doing one point. You're going to be doing it for all of the points, A, B, and C. So here's B, and here's C. I'm just showing you how to do it for A. You're going to do it for all of them. Now, over here, we finished off transformation D. Now, it says rotate 270 degrees to make transformation E. Okay, let's see. That means I've got to take this new point here and rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise. The rule for 270 degree rotation is you switch the positions, and I think you make the B negative. Let me scroll up here and check. I think I have it in the homework. No, it's on the very last page of your notes. Right about here. So we just did a rotation of 270. That means that AB becomes B negative A. So right here, AB becomes B negative A. Perfect, I did it right. Let's plot this point here. Negative 10 comes right down here. Plot the point. This becomes A quadruple prime, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my final point. Now, this was just done with A, okay? But you're going to do it with all the points, same process. So each one of these points is just part of the whole triangle. So this will be like ABC, and then you reflect it, and then you move it, and then you rotate it. Okay? Each piece should be moving the same amount. Every triangle should look just like your original triangle. Okay, that's your homework help. You're going to have another problem just like it on the back. Okay, both of these will help you a lot on the test. Hint, hint. They'll help you a lot on the test. I recommend you do them before tomorrow for the test on Friday. So if we go back here, summarize what you learned about today. We talked about glide reflections and how to do compositions, how to do multiple steps all at once. Tomorrow is the test, and then Monday is the retest. So you should study this all weekend. Just because the test is Friday doesn't mean you can stop studying over the weekend. Take what you learned from the first test and try and practice those same types of problems over the weekend. And that's it. I'm done. Here's 8.7. Do your homework. Almost forgot one thing. Make sure that you are working on your review worksheet, please. Here at right at the very back of your notes. Okay. Starts right here. Okay. Start working on your review problems. This is also due tomorrow. It's part of your note packet, part of your homework. Okay. Make sure you can do all of these. I know some of the pictures are a little bit interesting, but the concept is the same. Identify the different transformations. Okay. Translation, rotation, rotation, translation, those types of things. Okay, find these matrices. Okay, we got to times the matrices. R, 2R, R plus Q, Q minus 2R, those types of things. Don't worry about 17. It's a matrix multiplication. If you'd like to try it, I applaud you for the effort, but it's outside the scope of this class. Now, down here, additional topics covered on the test. Okay, these are review from previous materials. Some of them we actually covered this year. Some of them we didn't. They're left over from last year. So find the distance between 2 points. That's on your blue sheet. 19, I don't think we covered, so if you can't do it, don't worry about 19. 20, yes, you can solve that. Understanding the angle relationships, this we covered, this was chapter 2. And then provide a counterexample, that comes from chapter 3 or 4, I believe. Counterexamples are true for the first part, but false for the second part. Okay, and then you start in there. So these 3 pages here are your review worksheet. Make sure you get them all done before tomorrow. That's all I really have for you. So good luck, get it all done, and we'll see you in class